There are forces in this world that move like thunder, loud, visible, and immediate, and then there are forces that move like the wind, silent, invisible, but capable of reshaping deserts, mountains, and destinies. For too long, Iran has been misunderstood. Branded by fear, boxed by propaganda, yet beneath the noise lies a different story, a story of an ancient soul, a relentless will, a hidden power not rising, but awakening. While others see conflict, the wise see a current beneath the surface. While others see chaos, there is, in truth, a calculated climb, measured, strategic, and steeped in legacy. This is not merely a nation. This is a force, a spirit that refuses to bow, refuses to break, and now refuses to be ignored. The world feels it, the world fears it, and now the world must face it. Power does not always announce itself. Sometimes it waits, watches, endures, and when the world is distracted by noise, it moves like a whisper that becomes a roar. Iran's power has never been in its weapons, but in its wisdom, never in its might, but in its memory. Because when a people carry 500 years of civilization in their blood, they don't simply survive the world, they outlast it. For decades, the narrative has been written by others. Sanctions, speeches, interventions. They were all attempts to reduce this nation to headlines. But Iran was never built on the surface. Its roots run deep, deeper than oil, deeper than politics, deeper than any foreign understanding could ever grasp. And now, those roots are shaking the ground beneath the global order. Iran's strength is not just in what it resists, but in how it resists. While others crumble under pressure, it transforms pressure into power. While others fold under fear, it sharpens its identity like a blade. And that is why the world is beginning to tremble, not because of a sudden invasion or declaration, but because Iran has become the quiet architect of regional recalibration, shaping ideologies, building alliances, rewriting the rules. In a world driven by consumption and speed, Iran moves with intention. It's not sprinting for power, it's ascending toward purpose. Through soft power, through spiritual influence, through silent strategy, it is becoming a gravitational force, drawing in nations, movements, and minds who are tired of being told how to think, how to live, how to be. This is not the story of rebellion. This is the story of return to identity, return to autonomy, return to a voice that cannot be muted no matter how many walls are built around it. And when a nation returns to its core, it becomes unshakable. Because no external power can undo what is written into a people's soul. Iran's true strength lies not in its weapons, but in its unwavering identity. While empires have risen and fallen, Iran has remained, because its power is not borrowed from allies or technology. It is born from who they are. This is a people who remember, and when a nation remembers its soul, it cannot be erased, only feared. In a world that glorifies immediacy, Iran plays a different game. It doesn't react, it calculates. It doesn't rush, it endures, and in that endurance it gains power others can't even recognize. Because when you master time, you master fate. Iran is not chasing victory. It's sculpting it slowly, surely, and silently. Sanctions were designed to break Iran, but instead they became a forge. Where others would collapse, Iran innovated. Where others would compromise, Iran created. What was meant to choke became a challenge, one that turned survival into supremacy. That's the difference between those who complain and those who convert pressure into progress. While others invade with armies, Iran invades with ideas. It doesn't seek to conquer land, it seeks to conquer minds. Across the Middle East, its influence echoes not through domination, but through connection, belief, loyalty. Iran moves through the unseen channels of power, and that is why it is unstoppable. Faith is not just religion, it is resilience. It is the unshakable belief that one's path is guided by more than politics. Iran's strength is not just strategic, it's spiritual, and when a people believe they are part of something divine, they cannot be defeated. Because faith gives you more than a reason to fight. it gives you a reason to rise. The world today is full of noise, headlines, accusations, sanctions, threats. But beneath that noise, there are movements that cannot be stopped, voices that cannot be silenced, and powers that no one saw coming. Iran is no longer waiting to be understood. It is no longer asking for permission. It is moving, not with chaos but with conviction, not to imitate the world but to challenge it. And that is what shakes the foundations of power, not the blast of war but the rise of an idea, a belief, a people who have endured every attempt to erase them and still stand taller, stronger, and more certain than ever. Because when a nation remembers its soul, when it reclaims its voice, when it refuses to bow to pressure, the world must take notice. And now it has. Iran's hidden power is no longer hidden. It is rising, it is resonating, and it is redefining what it means to be strong, not by force but by faith, not by domination but by identity. So let the world watch, let the world wonder, but understand this. When a sleeping giant awakens not in anger, but in awareness, not to destroy, but to define, that's when history changes forever.